that there should be Veda chanting in every country, by everybody, by every caste, by every community, by every individual.
The first line, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya.
Yes.
It took me how long?
I think almost a week, more than a week.
A week,
to get
wow.
One line.
Just
the
to
first
learn
line.
that one verse,
So,
it Om
Yes.
Sai Ram.
Yes, Sai Ram.
Okay, so today we have brother Daniel and Sister Serena who would be sharing on their journey in learning and experiencing the prowess of Sri Rudram. So let's start off. So could you introduce yourselves?
I'm brother Daniel Yeoh. We are from Malaysia. This is my wife, Srinachi.
Okay, right. So so explain on as to how you came across Sri Rudram and as to how you learned it and experienced it, and how did the entire journey start off? How did you come across this great Vedic hymn?
You,
Can you budget in Kolkata?
Okay.
That was how many years back?
it's 2010 December.
That was before Swami passed away.
Yes, yes.
So we attended a budget in Kolkata. And I remember during that budget, they invited this Central Council member, right? His name is Brother Lee,
Really
Billy
from
to give a speech.
Mhm.
Because he just came back from India.
Mhm.
So we asked him to give a talk.
Okay.
And his entire talk that he gave, I only remember one thing.
Right.
And that was, he said that Swami want everybody to take up the rhythm.
Right. Right.
The funny thing is, it hit me,
Mhm.
that statement hit me right in the heart.
Right.
Okay? And actually, I'm not good in chanting or that, but because I felt that he said that Swami once,
Mhm.
and I was thinking, Swami has given me so much, helped me so much thing, but he never asked anything.
Okay.
So I was thinking, since he want, after the meeting, I talked to Brother Bifong and confirm what Swami really said.
Mhm.
Then he told me, that was exactly what Swami said. I want everybody to take up the rhythm.
Rudram. Mhm.
After that, I had a discussion. Later on, I had a discussion with Serena. I told her, Swami wants us to take out the rhythm. What do you think?
Mm.
He agreed. She agreed readily.
Right.
So after when we took the tape and listened to the rhythm and all that, we found it's something almost impossible for us to do.
Because it seems so
For me,
complicated.
It's so difficult. But I make up my mind that I wanted to do it.
And how old were you back then when you took the initiative, when you had the determination to learn the Sri Rudram?
That was 7 years ago.
7,
7 years ago. How?
67. Wow, 67. That, yeah, that's really incredible for, even at such a age where many wouldn't even think of perhaps learning the Rudram. And how was it
Then,
to learn?
I found it so difficult, but
But we persisted lah.
because the first line, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya,
Yes.
it took me how long?
I think almost a week, more than a week.
A week,
to get
wow.
One line.
Just
the
to
first
learn
line.
that one verse, it took a
Yes.
week.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
Alright.
but because it is all because of the love of Swami.
Swami.
We love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted something.
So you gave your entire effort to it to learn it.
Yes, yes.
And as to due to the language and cultural differences, so when you are not familiar with Vedic chants and you suddenly had to just learn something as complicated as Rudram, So how did you manage to learn the entire text?
And another thing is when we check out, actually nobody chanting.
Yeah.
Around. Nobody.
Nobody was chanting.
Nobody within Alor Setar?
Yes.
Okay.
But we are quite lucky, a friend is in Kuala Lumpur.
Okay.
His name is brother
Low.
Stephen Low.
Stephen Low.
Then I understand that brother Stephen Low is in contact with his brother Julius Tan.
Okay.
And I heard Julius is very good in this Vedic chanting. So I just asked him casually, do you know anybody
Okay.
who can teach us to chant the Rudram? They said, I'll check out and see.
Right.
Then after a few days, a week, less than a week, he called me back. He said that there will be a person. Julius will be too far for him to come
Right.
to teach you. But this brother is from Penang.
Penang.
His name is Brother Shiva.
Shiva. Okay.
I'll
Right.
talk
From
to
Guru
him,
Guru
see.
Center.
No, that time I don't know Brother Shiva. He said, I'll talk to him and see. And he approached Brother Shiva. And Brother Shiva immediately agreed to come to Alor Setar.
Wow. It's quite a distance from Penang to Alor Setar. Might take around 2 hours.
Yes.
Approximately. Right.
And he told me actually, if you come and teach us, only afternoon or what, night time we can drive. That means he has to drive all the way from and because every time he comes and teaches us, he will bring his wife. The wife is the guy accompanying him. Journey. They're so kind of him.
Wow.
Then we told him, we will compensate you, we will pay you. We shouldn't talk about pay. I said at least I compensate for the petrol.
Wow.
Not a single cent.
Not a single cent. Wow.
So every week he comes.
Yes. Every Friday.
Every Friday he came and wow, just to teach you.
Yes.
So what we did was we tried to get more people to learn. So the first session, how many years we got?
I think about 21 people.
20 people.
Kuala Pinang.
That was
Wow.
very good start. We were quite happy, so many people. So we in Kuala Pinang, the first session. After that,
All disappeared, left the both of us.
Wow. So you were the only one who persistently, stayed over and learned.
we decided
You had to. You had to.
Because, and Brother Shiva take all the trouble to come down here.
Yes.
So we cannot let them down. We cannot let somebody down. We cannot let him down.
Really pleasing to hear that such
In
devotees
fact,
are there.
Brother Daniel, he rang Brother Shiva. I said, now only left 2 of us. He said, not so nice for him
For
to
you to-
come lah. Then Brother Shiva said, it's okay. Even one person he will come.
Wow.
So that's how we started. And then after that we gather a few more people lah. Like Dato Naidu, and then the Brother Lingam and his wife, Mitra, the Brother Ravi and his son, and both of us.
No, Brother Ravi.
No, later only they came in. So there was just a few of us lah.
Just a
We
few.
stayed out. We went through the whole thing lah.
Wow. So, and you were listening to it on a daily basis and practicing.
Yes, because this one practice is very important. Once Brother Shiva goes back, the next day we start our homework already. We start to practice already. Whatever he has taught us, we'll practice until he comes. Then he will chant together with us, and then he'll teach us some more. That's how we go, one sentence by sentence, one anuvaka by anuvaka until we finish the 11th one.
Wow. And how long did this learning process take place for you to learn the entire Namakam and Chamakam?
No, just
Namakam.
I think few weeks. Few weeks.
Namakam. Wow.
But we must be very disciplined.
Yes.
We will chant, include in our morning prayers. Whatever we have learned, every day we will chant. That's how we started. Up to now, every day we are still chanting.
Even after about
Yes,
7
and,
years
still listening.
on daily
to-
basis.
Yes.
So
daily
it's very much of part of your life.
Yeah,
It's
to
like-
make it part of our life. Yes.
I think it's Swami's grace.
Yes,
More
definitely,
of Swami's grace.
definitely.
Because I used to talk to him. Praying. I said, Swami, this.
Oh, you used to request him to
Yes.
teach you.
Yeah,
yes.
because Brother Shiva did mention something. He said, he asked us to be relaxed and just let ourselves go and just chant it full-throatedly. He said, and then he said, don't worry about the mistakes because we have Shama Pratana at the end of it. And then he said that whatever mistakes you make, somehow or other it will be corrected. No? That means the Swami will correct it.
Correct.
I have experienced it.
All right.
I have experienced it because I know there are some mistakes which I make, and then after that I can chant it correctly.
Right. So the Shama Prasana was like an apology prayer.
Yes,
for all
the surrender prayer to Baba, to
Right.
surrender the whole the prayer to him.
Yes,
and
because
that, he will protect us from any sins incurred.
yes, that's right. Because even today, many priests which I've spoken, they even have fear in taking up Rudram because of fear in chanting it wrongly, because the associated sin or the papam of associated to it is so heavy in the sense that they do not take, and it's rather a great blessing that Swami has enabled everyone in this age to.
Yes. That's why it come up. That's why we can. That's why we dare to chant it.
Right.
We dare to chant it
Chant
even
it.
with all the mistakes, because the divine assurance given by Swami. So we are very relaxed. We have no fear to chant it. Yeah.
So what was the immediate experience after reciting the Rudram? So any the changes, first obvious evident changes that you started seeing and experiencing?
I think it's a sense of peace and the knowing that we are, the conscious level has risen. Our conscious level has risen.
Right.
Yeah. And Atmic knowledge.
Atmic
we receive.
knowledge. Right.
Yeah. And then, but before that, there's a cleansing process actually. The Rudram will cleanse us.
Cleanse.
Cleanse. We have to go through a cleansing process, which all the negative traits in us will come up. But if we go on chanting, it will be eventually will be cleansed.
Cleanse. All the negativities will
Yeah,
be
because
cleansed.
Baba, I read that Baba wrote that he chose Sri Rudram because it's very powerful cleansing of our sins.
Wow.
That's why he purposely chose Sri Rudram for us to chant.
Like a purifier for
Yes,
everyone.
purify us.
I noticed you have a neighbor.
Okay.
3 houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this person, this person is very lonely
Okay.
and very sad, and he was shocked every day. He was shocked.
He has a mental problem,
Mental problem, a spiritual mental problem. He's
he-
like,
shouting all the
and
time.
he's very sad person. He walk roaming around, and we used to pity him, but we don't know how to help him. Then, as we sang the room over a period of time, then I asked him, this guy die already or live shifted away. He said no, still around. So I went and asked the relative. He said he's still there, but he kept quiet.
Oh, so it sort of silenced you.
He becomes I think
He calmed down, I think.
calmed down.
He stopped screaming
Oh,
already
right.
and stopped talking loudly to himself.
And this was after you started reciting it.
After some time,
Rudram.
then we noticed that he has stopped.
Wow.
That's why we experience this person. Then when I chant the room, I noticed that I sweat. I see the energy. Sweat.
Sweat.
You feel the heat.
Heat. immense heat. Right, right.
And then also this one is like our place here, a
Yes.
lot of cobra snakes.
Cobra.
And the monitor lizards,
Right.
biawak.
Ah.
They will come to our house before we last time. And then after we started chanting the Rudram, we saw that they don't come to our house
They don't
anymore.
Wow, it was like a protection as well. And that reminds me of Swami's words on how when you chant Rudram, you become like a, Bhadrachala, where you become a mountain of protection, which is comfort to you.
Then
And he also started teaching the Rudram to young children and
Yes.
Yes.
we started with one family
okay.
of four,
Five
five of
siblings.
them.
Five siblings. Right.
They managed to learn it in 6 months.
6 months, the
Yeah.
first Tanmaka.
No, the
Or
whole
the
thing.
entire
Yeah.
Rudram in 6 months.
6 months.
Wow.
Namakam and Chamakam.
Wow.
Children, they learn very fast.
Okay, right.
They were very good.
And when you chant the Rudram in temples and during events in temples, so what were the impressions that the priest had or the associated?
The priest, he was very happy. He likes our chanting. In fact, he say our chanting is correct and very good. And then the other people around, I think they were quite surprised to see us.
Chanting, yes, usually it's
they expected that only maybe Indians
yes,
chant it.
exactly.
So they were quite surprised.
That someone from a different
Yes,
cultural
that
background
we,
was
our old elderly couple can manage to chant it.
yes, exactly.
Talking about the experience of the good things I experienced, is my friend in Sungai. This friend of mine, one day he came down from Sungai and then the Bajan,
Yes, it's a budget.
in Kolkata, and we were chanting the Rig Vedana. The first time we hear, after that he like it. But most people don't have this kind of feeling, but this fellow he like it. He like it and he goes right, then he contact me. He wants to learn. I cannot go to all the way to SP. But so I will provide him all the assistance. I gave him the CD and he's very gifted. This man, his name is Brother Yeoh.
Brother Yeoh.
And he struggled for a living as well. Then early morning he go on his motorbike to send newspaper and all that. And he got a lot of problems. He got health problem. Before that, Brother Yeoh is a side devotee. I sent him the CD, this and that, and pen drives. And he's very good. No? He learned by himself.
Just by listening and
Just by listening. And I don't know, he has the natural liking for Rudram. And he learned entire Namakam by himself in about shorter than time than this.
wow.
But actually, from beginning to the time he learned all was 4 years. Because beginning he tried to, but his emotional and all the problems overwhelmed him. So he went very slowly, and then we had to almost every day we had to counsel him on his the problems everything. Then recently only after he got the pen drive from uncle, then he start to listen. That's where he learned very fast.
So listening is a great key.
Yeah, he actually
Very.
faced a lot of obstacles.
You see, we are so lucky compared to him. We can chant in the house. He's not allowed to chant in the house. The house doesn't belong to him.
Right.
It belongs to a sister. The sister then told him very clearly, I don't want any prayer in the house.
Okay.
No bhajan, singing of bhajan, anything, no.
Okay.
And they have he has a sick mother,
Okay.
bedridden. So that the sister tolerate him to in the house, allow him to stay in the house, is because she need him to carry the mother, to wash the mother every day. They have to do that. So they are tolerating me. But I don't know why. There's something. He doesn't like him. Then after a period, then he start reading the Rudram. Suddenly he told me, why my spirit.
Suddenly he said that his sister changed towards him. Was very nice to him and offered to buy him a car.
Wow.
And offered to buy him a new car. Then he said, I don't have money. Then she said she will pay for it,
Wow.
the down payment and the installments, and offered to buy him a smartphone. She totally changed.
New person.
Yeah, changed towards him. Was very nice to him. And then what he did was when the sister woke up for a few hours, he will chant for the mother.
But even the sister very nice. He is very careful. He doesn't antagonize.
A lot of problems start.
Slowly he stopped. Like the other family problem, he stopped. Because of
the daily Rudram.
I think it's the Vedic something.
Yes, definitely.
You cannot help not believe it.
Yes.
Because you see what's happening practically. But it goes slowly, for us very slow. But Brother Yeoh, brother also slow. But this person, the Brother Yeoh very fast because the person is not.
Yeah, you can see because they were very good friends,
Brother Yap and Brother Liao.
And Brother Yap knows Brother Liao's problem. He can see what's happening. So now he is transformed by Rudram. Brother Yap is also affected. He was very, so he was very enthusiastic
To learn.
To hear the Rudram. So every day he would invite Brother Liao to go to his house and chant.
Wow.
When
Every
the
morning.
vibration, we went to chant also there. We chant the Rudram and also a few Vedas. And really the place, the whole place, brighten up visibly. Becomes very bright.
And
feel the
now
vibration.
he asked Brother Liao to teach his children.
Wow. So it's like a chain actually if you look properly. Like from you it went on to awareness spread to Brother Liao, and from him to many other devotees, and even those who have not heard about Swami or who have not heard about the Vedas. It's just spreading.
Show us something.
Yes.
People who don't even know
What
about
Vedas are.
Bhajan, doesn't know, and this thing, they are no affected.
Yes.
So Swami is, I think he let people know. Actually, they are so lucky, but they don't realize how lucky.
They don't realize.
And we realize that we are so lucky to have to chant the Vedas, the Rudram.
Wow.
I hope others who have heard this will realize and they
Get inspired. Yes, definitely. Definitely everyone would get inspired by you. Because
I think this is a greater gift. In my
Yes.
life, I think the greatest thing is to know Baba. The first thing, the greatest thing is to know Baba. And nothing is to. Then Swami wanted me to become a Westerner. I became a Westerner many years ago. And I'm so happy I become a Westerner. And now, Swami gave us nothing.
Rudram.
That's the best gift,
That's like wow.
best, priceless.
It's like the best thing that happened in your life, I would
Yes,
say.
yes, right. Priceless.
So what
Because then we realize all these temporary, which we cannot take with us, but we can take the Rudram with us. It's priceless. No, which no money can buy on this one.
yes.
Only Baba can give.
So,
So we are very lucky.
So
Actually very lucky.
so with all your experience, what would be the advice you would give to, now many are learning and progressing in Vedic chantings, and so what would be your advice to the learners, students all over the globe who are learning the Vedas and
Oh,
Sri Rudra?
they must be very disciplined. That means they must do their homework every day, at least, especially in the morning, at least half hour, 1 hour of chanting.
Daily.
If the Guru today teach them, tomorrow they have to start doing the homework already. They have to start practicing already. If they don't, they procrastinate, then they will lose it.
They lose it.
They will lose it.
Can you imagine? Baba, to me as avatar, ask you to do something, to do his work. How much grace? Actually, he don't need you. Don't need anybody. But he said, I want. And just what you have to do is respond to it. Number one, learn it by yourself. Chant it every day. It's for the universe.
Yes.
For everybody. Then we are so lucky to be given a mission, a job or mission to do. Why can't we respond and do it?
Do it.
And in that way, we will raise our consciousness to a higher level.
In fact, it was Swami's stern quotation on how he wants everyone to actually take up the learning of the Sri Rudram.
Yes, I truly believe in it. That I think it's the most powerful way to raise our consciousness.
Wow.
And this Rudra is very powerful. Very powerful.
Very powerful. Right. So currently, what are your activities, Veda-related activities, such as maybe you get called to chant in events or yagyas or temple events or anything like that. So what are the current Veda-based activities that you are involved in?
Currently, not
Every once a month, first week
yeah,
of
first,
a month. You
first
go to
Friday of the month.
First Friday, you go to Kolkata, Santa, so you go there, you chant the Rig Veda there. And the temple near our house is a Shiva temple. The priest allow us to chant 1 hour every
Every Friday morning.
Every
7
Friday.
to 8 as well.
Okay.
7 to 8 o'clock.
And then Sunday.
Then when we chant in the center, the Alor Setar Center in Hijab Kuning.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Yes.
And then sometimes the
And
Shiva
that also-
temple have functions, they will ask us to go and chant.
For the fire sacrifice, the yajna.
Yes.
So, right. Wow.
So slowly, we are
Spreading the awareness.
we try to increase our activities.
Personally, I think Brother Shiva would be greatly pleased, to see his effort blossoming, and through you, much awareness on Veda is being spread to his little effort in, or perhaps great effort in, guiding and teaching you.
And here I would like to say thank you to Brother Shiva and his wife to come in all the way to Alor Setar to teach us.
Yes.
As far as we are concerned, Brother Shiva is our guru in the Vedic Center.
Yes, definitely.
He's a very good teacher.
Yes, not. I don't think we could find many who would be willing to take such efforts
And that's
to
why
drive
we,
all the way weekly.
That's why we make sure that we don't let him down. We make sure
Yeah, I'm
that
sure
we
you have.
succeed.
You would never do
And
that.
also, we will not let down Swami down.
Yeah. Okay, then I think that concludes the sharing. Thanks for the session, and I'm sure that this session would inspire and benefit all Veda aspirants throughout the world. And let us join hands in spreading awareness on the Vedas, in tandem to fulfilling Swami's quotes and vision in Vedoposhana.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Saira.
ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवम् बभूव ते धनुः